and this is the lesson number 3 from Serena, and today we are going to make 2-line bracelet with the lobster locket, which is a bit difficult from the last bracelet in 2 lines we made. So today we are going to use the Tibet style crafts golden color, like these big beads with the big hole inside, around 6-7 millimeter size. Also I will use the small bail with the small hole, like bead bail. It's not necessary to use, just I'm showing you that the crafts like this does exist in the world, so you can use the ordinary beads. And this is a separator in 3 threads, but today we are going to use only 2 holes from these separators. And this is aventuring, around 1 centimeter size. Butterflies, crystals butterflies with the 2 holes from both sides, because sometimes they have only 1 hole, but we need 2 holes only. And the pins, because I will use the bails today, you won't have to use them if you don't have bails. The calots and the rest of things, as usual, we use to fix the lobster locket. So, and also the small beads of aventuring, 4 millimeter. So let's start with the thread as usual. I'm using the thread size as my hand, plus 8 centimeters, not less, because today's fixing the ends will be a bit more difficult. So don't use the short threads. So I will start beading in my special order. You can use the same beads just to practice how to fix the ends in the 2-line bracelet, but I will use many different beads, the variety, just to show you different crafts, just for your knowledge. My 2 lines of bracelet would be a little bit different from different crafts. So when you're making 2-line bracelet with different beads, just make sure that the length is the same. So they must be the same when you will make a bracelet. So let's talk about what is bail. I was not asking you to buy it because now it's not necessary, but just I want to give you extra information. Bail is the hook which is used to hold the pendants, any kind of pendants, and there's a variety in stores. For example, my one is more rare, so it's looks like a bead bail. So it's a bead with the small hook from the one side. Most of bails look like tube beads with a big hole and hook. Also there is opening bail to fix the stone pendants with the hole on top, if you ever seen like this pendants. And also bails looking like ordinary hooks, big hooks with the little hooks on the one side, just using to connect with the opening rings to pendant or charm or something. So a variety of them. I could use like this bails, or just to take a tube shape, also very popular for bracelets. It's nothing to teach you actually, so that's why I'm just showing you, and no need to buy them right now. But the main reason of using bail is that this is a beautiful bead with a small loop, which gives us possibility to connect the charms or other beads on pins. So I finished one line bracelet, and now just making sure, using our size organizer I was showing you in the part 1 of my tutorials. If you have never seen it before, just search in my lessons. You see there is lots of extra space, but I need it because I will need to move from 2 lines, from 2 threads to 1, so that's why it needs extra space. So that's why I'm leaving around 3-4 centimeters. So you see that the other line is a bit different without bails. It will be the upside, and the downside is with bails. So the downside sometimes can be a little bit longer. It's okay if it's few millimeters longer. It even gives us a possibility to because we use the big butterfly beads, so they won't touch each other if one side will be a little bit longer, but not much. So if you put it on your hand, the longest part will separate from other, and I will show it to you in the end. So now I'm using separators, and now I put the thread inside, and make sure that the thread comes from other side exactly. Don't miss the holes, please, it's very important. So look how it looks from the back side. So you see the thread, and now I put the other thread and do the same thing. And now the most important part of our tutorial, so that's why I'm showing you this design now. How should we connect the lobster locket, which always have only one hook? So what to do? So that's what we're gonna do. We'll put some small beads. I will use 4mm aventurine beads and 2mm golden beads. Just we have enough space between 2 holes of separator, so the space between holes and separator depends on how many beads we will use now. So if we have a lots of space, we need more beads to make accurate changing of thread from 2 to 1. So that's what I want you to do. If our separator would be wider, it would be too big, I will use more beads. Otherwise, now I will put on the big bead just to hold them together, and now you will see why. If it would be more space between, the thread would be visible, it will come out from both sides, it will be not really pretty. So I put on the callot. I'm not pulling the beads down yet because we're fixing the first end, and I'm doing the same thing. The small crimps is enough to fix the 2 threads together, it's alright. If you use 3 or 4, of course you will need a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger crimps. So now I'm fixing them. It would be better if your thread is longer than mine. I've got experience, so that's why I can economy the thread, so you shouldn't do that. So now making knot over the crimps, just an ordinary way how I'm generally making knot from 2 threads together. Be very careful when you're stretching the threads, otherwise you can damage all the construction, and you can pull too much of thread from one side if you use the tools too much. Oh That's what I was talking about, my friends. You see, I pull it too hard and the one thread. Oh, yeah. So, and I lost lots of beads from the one side. Please do it on the fuzzy um, towel. It's the best to fixing the threads in the bracelets. So I'm corrected everything. So just to return the length of my thread, I was pulling it strongly, but not too strong to not lose the thread from the opposite side. So be careful about it. So now I pull it, so I'm assured that there is no extra space between beads on the opposite side, and I'm holding it by my both fingers. I'm fixing it so it's not sliding. Nothing is sliding in construction. And now I'm doing the same thing with the separator. Separator has two sides, back and front side, so be sure that the both separators are in the same plane. So I mean, so you won't match them back and front side. So you see now my both separators are in the front side now, so I've not turned it incorrectly. Now I'm doing the same thing. There's two beads and two small beads and one big bead to fix this all. When you are making the necklaces, sometimes we're using the 7-hole separators, and then we are making the necklace thinner by making, for example, 7 holes to 5, then to 3, then to 1 thread, and then using the bigger crimps to fix everything together or cut them. Oh, this is much more difficult, because this is the simplest way. Actually, you can buy two loops locket, but most of them are toggle lockets um, or the lockets with the crystals, which are small and have connecting rings from all sides, but they're really small. So if your bracelet is thick, it's not really would be incorrectly. Remember the last tutorials. But if you don't have veils, I will just show you what to do. Just put the middle size ring, connect it with the charm. Now imagine that this is a thread and this is the beads. So I put the bead and ring, and now you see that without veil you can use the charms as well. So now everything is correctly. So the charm has the full face hook, and the ring is now in position of profile. So beads connecting it, and everything is correctly in the chain order. So remember, but most of veils have a full face rings, hooks, but my one is something like special. I don't know why. So that's why I won't use flat charms. I will ethno style jewelry, necklaces, especially in India style. When you're making necklace with the linked beads, like my bracelets, a 3-4 lined necklace with the veils on them and the small beads as the charms.